One of my favorite proverbs states, "A happy heart makes the face cheerful." I could truly say I've never been happier in all my life. It's been 5 months since I officially became Eugeena Patterson Jones. I married my next-door neighbor on a Saturday in February, and I know other newlyweds could relate to my joy. But I'm no ordinary newlywed. I'm 61 years old, and I enjoy taking advantage of my AARP and other senior citizens' discounts. Pending Social Security, my world consists of retirement activities and, oh yeah, sharing my home with a man again. I'd been a widow for 5 years. A few years ago, I couldn't have imagined that, at my age, the man I'd secretly had a crush on would become my second husband. The Lord does work in mysterious ways. He could surprise even an old bird like me. After much discussion, Amos officially moved into the home where I'd raised my 3 children. His home, where he'd resided alone after his wife's death, remained empty, and Amos pondered putting the house on the market after he moved in with me, until 3 months ago. After living in California, trying to make it as a singer, Amos's youngest daughter moved back home. She'd showed up to surprise her father for Easter Sunday. Next thing we knew, she seemed to remain in Charleston long after her impromptu visit. Amos hadn't turned off the utilities yet, so Briana embraced her parents' former home and appeared to have placed her life in California behind her. This all happened pretty fast, and I can't say I was completely comfortable with our new neighbor. Briana had a rough few years during and after her mom's battle with breast cancer. Perhaps being in the house where her mother last lived provided some comfort. Amos kept many reminders of Francine Jones in the house. After a lengthy estrangement from her father, I recognized that Briana needed him in her life. Just because our children grow up and get their own lives doesn't mean they stop needing us. Right now, I wasn't sure how well I could remain supportive. For the second night in a row, music blasted from next door into our bedroom. With no cares of this being a Sunday evening, the heavy bass and thumping penetrated right through the window. I thought the windows would shatter at some point. Next to me, Amos wrestled with the covers on the bed. I knew he was restraining himself from going over to visit his baby girl. In not so many words, before we retired for the night, he'd expressed that he didn't miss the drama that came with facing his youngest daughter. I knew about drama, having birthed a drama queen myself. The difference was my youngest child and daughter lived across town and showed up occasionally when she needed free babysitting. Lisa was a 23-year-old single mom with 2 young children. Thank goodness her party days ended the moment she delivered her first child at age 17. Briana was 26 with no children and clearly had no intentions of settling down. "I need to go over there." Amos's voice was gruff, concealing more anger than I knew he had. I propped myself on my elbow. "Is that really a good idea? Last time didn't go so well." Last time was the previous night. I wanted to march over to the house myself, but I knew I needed to let Amos handle it. Amos tried, but that's not what happened. All I heard was yelling and screaming. Not from Amos. Amos was the silent type, who kept his thoughts inside and his face grim. Briana, on the other hand, was livid. And despite the fact she was living in her parents' home rent-free, she insisted Amos had no right to tell her what to do. There was so much on my mind, but I held my tongue. Besides, this was my fault.